Fellas, today we're going to talk about one of the many ways you can make a woman addicted to you, like you her drug. But first, before I get into the game, jump on the Patreon, best game on the internet. Hit the link in the bio or the description, wherever you see this at. But yeah, so let's get into this, right? You guys have to know how to do things like this in order for your woman to be head over heels, in order for her to, crave you and want you and chase after you. You guys have to know how to implement little things like this. Little things like this mean a lot. And this is like nails in your foundation to keep your shit strong, to keep your game strong. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to implement and learn how to implement stuff like this, right? So what am I talking about? One of the things that you can do, right, is you want to wait until she's vulnerable, extremely vulnerable, right? And while she's vulnerable, you want to make sure that she feels feminine, safe, and secure. Feminine, safe, and secure. And if you do this properly while she's open and she's vulnerable, she will treat you like a king. She will become wildly addicted to you. The hormones her body will produce is almost like her taking a Percocet or sticking a needle in her arm. Now, did I say simp and put her on a pedestal? Of course not. No, you don't want to be no fucking simp. But what I'm saying is there's a way, a masculine way to make a woman feel safe, feminine, and secure when she's with you. You understand? When she's vulnerable. And what this does, while she's vulnerable, her body is releasing certain hormones to make her feel a certain type of way, anxious, crazy, depressed, or whatever. And then what you do is you come in and you calm that. And what happens when you calm that, her body releases more hormones and shit. And she associate these good feelings and these feelings of calm and these feelings of euphoria and relief. She's going to associate this shit with you. So you always want to pay attention to when your girl is her most vulnerable. Pay attention to when she's, there's situations or opportunities when she's very, very vulnerable and open. There's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of things that happen in a woman's life that make them vulnerable, where they feel scared, they feel alone, they feel weak. You understand? They feel tired, they feel like they want to give up, they feel depressed, they feel anxious. And what you want to do is, learn how to look for these certain type of opportunities, come in on your masculine, thing and lay it down and make them feel safe and comfort them. This shit works like a charm. This shit is crazy. Now, a lot of you guys may say, well, what if you can't find, when they're vulnerable? Well, you can always find it, right? There's always going to be vulnerable moments. But if you can't find it, a more effective way to do this is create these moments. Create these moments when she's her most vulnerable. And I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to do just that. I'm gonna show you how to, certain scenarios where you can create vulnerability. And then once you create the shit, you come in and, put your shit down. So you created the situation and you remedied the situation like you the puppet master. You dig what I'm saying? Now, one thing that you can do is get her to open up about past traumas or, trauma from childhood or, past moments where she was really open or embarrassed about or she suffered from. Now, that don't mean ask her about her body count, because you guys can't handle the truth. You guys can't handle her sexual past. So don't ask about body count or, sexual past, because a lot of the times when you guys aren't strong enough to hear the answer, if you don't have that strength within you, your energy is not going to be calming to her. Your energy ain't going to be right. So I would stay away from trying to get her to be vulnerable like that, with her, telling you her past, her sexual past and her bodies and all that. Stay away from that. You ain't ready for that. But there's other ways, that you can ask her, maybe, get her to talk about, her issues with her mom or her issues with her dad, or, shit that happened when she was in school, or, the things that happened when she was at work that she felt embarrassed about, things that happened in the past. Get her to open up about these things. And when she opens up about these things, she's going to be extremely, extremely vulnerable. And that's when you come in and provide the safe spot. a key to this though is you cannot appear to be judgmental. You can't be a judgmental person, because if a woman sees that you judgmental, then she's going to be standoffish, and she's not going to want to open up to you. So you have to, have this judgmental, non-judgmental disposition, right? Does that mean live your life not being judgmental? No, of course, we judge everything by what happens, and that's sane. But around women, you have to act like you're not judgmental, right? And when you do this, and when they open up to you, you can provide a safe spot for them. And like I said, the hormones they body when they release when they're relieved and at comfort due to, distress is amazing. It's almost like a drug, right? So yeah, learn how to, pick your girl's brain apart when y'all talking, like after sex or whatever, or y'all laying in the bed late night. Learn how to pick her brain apart. Get her to open up about vulnerable, moments in her past, or things that she hold near and dear, or secrets and things like that. And then you come in and be the calm to the storm. You understand? But that's one of the ways you can do it. Now, another way that you can do this is to figure out her fears, right? Figure out what she's most scared of, or what most makes her anxious, and expose her to it. And when she's exposed to it, she has to lean on you, the masculine man, for comfort. That's easy. I give you an example, right? I give you an example. Let's say she's afraid of heights. Go to the fucking water park or the theme park and, convince her to get on a roller coaster with you. And while she's scared and shit, you calm her down, and you make her relax, and you let her know everything is going to be okay. I got you. Don't worry. You in good hands right now, and once she go through shit like that with you, and you calm her down and you can be her calm, then she going to love you long time. So, open her up to her fears, and have her face her fears. If she's scared of, water, take her out on jet skis, or, jump out of a helicopter, or whatever you're going to do. But just open up to her fears. One of the things my homie used to do, he used to tell me, back in the days, he used to do something like this. He was like a daredevil driver. Like, he drove fast, like, drive fast, or running lights, and not really running lights, but like speeding and hitting corners. And that shit would be scary to ride with him. And women would be in the car, like thinking they're about to die, and he would calm them down. That shit worked like wonders for him. You understand what I'm saying? So, I used to have little things that I would do too, especially like on some street shit, but I ain't gonna get into that. I would expose them to certain shit, but then I would calm them down. That works really well to, expose a woman to her fears, but you be the safety net. You understand? So you're exposing it to them. So like I said, if she's scared of heights, or she's scared of roller coasters, convince her to get on a roller coaster. Talk her, spit that game at her, and convince her to get on a roller coaster with you. But whatever her fears are, you help her, you expose her to her fear, or you bring her to her fears, but you her comfort. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the second way you can do that. Now, the third way that you can do this is to, whenever your girl get extremely emotional and extremely angry at you, right, for whatever reason, and she's lashing out at you and she's emotional, don't feed into it. Be the calm, be the rock. I know that's hard to control your emotions and not fall into arguments and shit like that, and not fall into when they acting crazy. But when you can do this, when women are extremely emotional and they're extremely angry, they're extremely vulnerable. So if you can stay solid and bring closure to that situation while being solid, and hear her concerns or whatever you got to do, not necessarily brush her off, or take a nonchalant vibe, but just be calm and be a rock and be solid. And let her get her shit off. Now, if she's disrespecting you and calling you out of her name, you make sure you check that and say, hey, I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to, go through this with you, but you're gonna have to be respectful about this. I understand that you're mad, and I want you to express your frustration, but you're not gonna call me out my name. You understand what I'm saying? So if she get wild, she get like disrespectful, you check it, but you don't want to feed into the emotions. You don't want to feed into the anger and the drama, because they can't be safe with you emotionally, right? And, as one of the things as being an alpha male and a true player, you have to learn how to provide emotional security to a woman, right? Because when a woman is emotional and, angry or whatever, or hurt or whatever, she's vulnerable. And when she opens up to you, you have to be the safe spot. You have to be, even if it's directed at you. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. But when Nipsey Hussle passed, Lauren London was talking about how Nip would never, get like lash out at her, regardless of how angry she got, how frustrated she got, how emotional she got out of him, or how she lashed out, he would never feed into it, and he was always like a safe spot for her. That don't mean allow yourself to be somebody's toxic dump. That's different. But you know, women have emotions, women have frustrations, and they want to express them. That's different from being somebody's toxic dump. Don't let people be toxic to you. But anyway, she was saying how he would always be solid. He would always bring closure to, you know, her emotions and shit. And she basically called him her sanctuary. That's a huge title. That's a huge compliment for a woman to look at you like like sanctuary. I doubt that she'll ever be able to date normally again, Lauren London, and rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. But you know, that's a way for him, you know, he would make her feel feminine, secure, and safe in her emotions and her anger and shit. So that's the third way. Whenever your girl get extremely angry at you or extremely emotional at you, you never want to feed into it and get emotional back. You want to remain solid. You understand? That takes a lot of self-discipline though. And that's something that you guys need to work on, because if you can do that, you'll have a girl hooked forever. You understand? Because like I say, that when your body is, you know, going through stress and your mind is stressed and you're in distress, emotional distress, your body is releasing hormones. So when that calms and you get relief from that, your body releases more hormones that feel really good and euphoric, and it gives you a calming sense. And the person who can provide this, you associate this in your brain like they are the drug, like they are the reason. So you look at them like they are the reason that you're this way, that you're calm, you're peaceful and shit like that. And that's how people become addicted to you. You understand? That's how women will become addicted to you. But anyway, fellas, that ends that. If you like the video, if you found value in the video, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you can get this good player shit fresh off the press. Y'all know my slogan, playerism is the antidote to feminism. Guys, jump on the Patreon. The link is in the description or the bio, wherever you see this at. This is the best game on the internet. Hands down, they ain't teaching you shit like this. You understand what I'm saying? Also, go get both of my courses, Attraction 101 and How to Make a Woman Fall in Love with You. And if you need coaching, make sure to go on my website right now, kingdreism.com, and book a session with me. And I promise you, if you take my advice, it will change your life for the better. I can promise you that. Take my advice and you're gonna step your game up for sure. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna win. You're gonna learn to win. You understand? You're gonna be able to win at dating and life and in general. I got you, I promise. So go to my website and book me. But anyway, fellas, this is King Dre, your gracious game advisor. I'm gone.